Alright everybody, my name is Zoid and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Now for today's video we're going to be playing the second episode of Perfumare, which is a very interesting visual novel. I did play it like a few days ago actually. So if you guys missed the first part, I'm gonna be leaving a link somewhere around the screen and also down in the description below so you can go and check that out if you missed it. But please bear in mind that this game does come with like a PG-17 plus warning, so it does contain some like themes of like violence, drug use, and death. So make sure you're okay with those kind of stuff before proceeding. And let's continue. We have a little save here, and we found out that we actually have. I think let me just double check. People, no, we don't have. I don't know whether we ourselves have this sort of like affliction that is said like to be present in some people in this universe. But we know about Jewel, this woman, Reid, and Laurent, who are like a couple of people that we know. But we do have like amnesia, so I don't know what's going on there. So we do have amnesia. We have no idea who we are, where we are, what are we doing, and what's going on in our life right now. But let's continue with the visual novel and see what it says here. You take it in your hands before you can even think about it. It's bookmarked with a pen stuck on a blank page. You hide the pen inside your back pocket, focusing on the notebook. You flip through the pages. Your name is written on the first one next to a surname or a few different variations of it. Murin, Marine, and Maureen. It's probably Maureen. Maureen is underlined twice though. Definitely a fake surname then. Yeah, definitely. What did you get yourself into? The inside of the cover is similarly scribbled over. There's a note about a meeting with someone named L dated 0309, bracketed by a couple of exclamation points. Maybe L is Laurent? Must have been important, yeah. You hear a bang, the sound of something heavy hitting a wall. It's so unexpected it jostles you and you slam the cabinet shut with your free hand, clutching the notebook in the other. You take a clumsy step back, your foot catches on the tote bag and it collapses, items falling out in a heap. Quickly, you shove the notebook into your back pocket and bend down to pick up the spilled items. Well, not everything. Ooh, what? Is that a chocolate bar? Under the chair you notice a candy bar. The label promises 20% more chocolate and 100% more flavor. What the hell? I'm gonna leave the candy bar. I'm not hungry right now, so thank you. You pick up the snack and put it back inside the bag. The noise outside quiets down, but the sound of arguing still rings through the shop. The only voice you can hear belongs to the older woman, so it's fair to assume she's still busy talking on the phone. You stand up, dust yourself off, and wait a little bit, swing your weight from one foot to the other. The woman keeps on talking, swearing every so often. A part of you wants to stay long enough for her to finish. There are so many questions you want to ask her, and it seems like she could offer you some insight. But you get a feeling that you shouldn't linger. You decide to listen to your gut, it hasn't failed you yet. You leave the storage room. On your way out, you take hold of the red cashmere sweater and slip it on, wrapping yourself in the warmth of it. You check the pockets, but there's nothing inside. Okay, fair enough. We are still in this perfume shop, which is apparently our workplace, and our this older woman, this person, she's our boss. We found that out in the previous episode. And she's basically kind of telling us that maybe we should take some time off because we're being like pursued. So maybe we should take time off work, like paid leave, which sounds good to me. But the woman stands with her back towards you, face buried in a stack of documents. She waves her hands, erratic. She doesn't pay any attention to you, absorbed in her conversation. So you slip out of the shop unnoticed, leaving the door open. No, I don't wanna leave. I wanna ask her a couple of things, like, who am I? How long have I been working here? Who is following me? Why are they following me? Like, what the hell? But on the pavement right in front of you, you see something shine against the grey cobblestones. A translucent bottle of perfume. Oh, this is the thing that is, it's not actually perfume. It's supposedly something that it's kind of like a drug that you take to maybe enhance your supernatural abilities, which is something that some people have in this game. And I think we might be one of those people, but I don't think we know for certain yet. So it must have fallen out of one of the boxes the woman was carrying inside. I'm gonna pick up the bottle, and the glass is cold and smooth under your fingertips. The lid is factory sealed. You take the bottle without a second thought and shove it in your pocket. Finders keepers. You slide a hand to your back pocket for looking for the notebook. You hope that one of your notes can shed some light on your past, or at least tell you what to do next. Your fingers brush against the cover just as your whole body tenses. Okay, I'm gonna actually look at that. So we have a bottle of perfume. I cannot click on that. We have the people here, miscellaneous, Perfumare. This is what I was talking about. The Perfumare, or just Mare, is a cleverly disguised inhaler, a potent drug sold in a small bottle, yada yada yada. We read this previously. And let's return. We don't have anything else. I already read everything in the notebook. So, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand at attention. You whirl around and freeze. Okay, oh, is that Reid actually? The man, roughly your age, stares at you from behind the window of the opposite building. He grins when you meet his eyes, sharp and unnerving. He's familiar, I'm gonna say. You look away quickly, but not quickly enough to miss the amused quirk of his brow. What is that? Rude, he says, or somebody says. What? The voice rings clear as a bell, so close the mic could come out of your own brain. Discreetly, you take a look around. Aside from a couple of passers-by, you're completely alone. Okay, again, this weird, little thing. I don't know. It's like maybe it's like a scent that we can see. Come on, tesoro. Why the cold shoulder? I don't know what that means. No way. You glance at the guy again, and his smile stretches even wider. There you are, Ezeki. Okay, maybe he has I don't know. I don't remember what his abilities were. Let me just see. Reid has telepathy. Yeah, telepathy. Okay. So the snow's starts to get on your nerves. The guy knows you. You feel like you know him. You just can't remember. I'm gonna confront him, obviously. So you level with the guy with a silent glare. Once your eyes lock, he makes no move to break the contact. Okay, and then yeah, that's more like you. Oh my god, he knows something, that much is clear. And you'll be damned if you don't get the information out of him. You keep your eyes on him until you get to the door. The old wood is climbing and the moist the hinges slide with an ear-piercing grind. Okay, weird, inside is like dingy bar, so the air inside is less musty than you thought it would be. It smells faintly of liquor and strangely coffee. The handful of people seated at the bar doesn't even spare you half a glance, so you decide not to pay them much mind either. A large rectangular ceiling lamp buzzes loudly, filling the silence with a steady background noise that muffles their conversation. The light reflects on the worn wax panels and the clean counter. The entrance on the right is partially hidden behind a thick red curtain. There's a faint shimmer at the end of the passageway, but the view is largely blocked by the guy's back. Okay, so he's lounging in a chair, head resting on the palm of his hand as though he's bored to tears. His eyes, however, definitely have a wicked gleam in them. Remember when I said the new deal is going to bite us in the A? He starts out of the blue as soon as you come closer. And you were like, no way, Reid, you're an idiot. Reid, is that his name? More importantly, what the F is he talking about? What deal? You grimace, but he only rolls his eyes. Yeah, alright, that's not what you said. Still, I stand by my opinion. If he notices your unamused expression, he doesn't mention it. Instead, he pats the table a few times with his free hand, signaling you to join him. He juts his chin, pointing at the cup of coffee sitting in the middle of the table. Want some? I'm gonna say hell no. You slide into the next chair over, eyeing the cup with distrust. Your day is already a nightmare. You don't need to add to it by poisoning yourself with a glass of putrid bean juice. Oh my god, putrid bean juice. No. He seems to have expected your reaction, seeing as he barks out a laugh at the disgusted grimace you're making. If I knew you were coming to see me, Dolcezza, I'd have ordered wine instead. Honestly, right now I would prefer anything rather than coffee. But that's not really why you're here. He brushes a piece of stray lint off of the flaps of his jacket as he leans back into his chair. Alright, Reid says. Well, since you rarely go out of your way to find me, I assume you're not here to exchange gossip. Let me guess, it's about yesterday's delivery. I gotta say, we were a little concerned when you didn't come back. By we, I mean Dia and Alan. Me? I knew it would be fine. I'd have checked on you, you know. If you told someone where the meeting point was. He sounds rather cross with you all of a sudden, but then he's smiling again, the earlier outbursts forgotten. But I guess everything ended up fine. The suits are gonna poke around for a couple of weeks, no big deal. And besides the new one, give me a break. Where did they find that guy? He wouldn't be able to find his own A if they gave him a map and a flashlight. He shakes his head exasperated, then raises an inquisitive eyebrow at you. Did you talk with Dia? He points his head in the direction of the perfume shop outside. Dia, he probably means the owner, who is our boss, so you nod once. And did she give you a break? Yes, 2 weeks. I'm so jealous, Reid says. Your boss is better than mine. He frowns and casts a brief glance behind himself. Don't tell him that. How was it anyway? He changes the subject so abruptly you can't help but blink at him in confusion. How was what? The meeting? Alan said your contact paid a whopping 50 grand up front. What is he talking about? Like, what meeting? What delivery? What is he talking about? So he whistles. I guess we're gonna find out any moment now. But and I don't like these sounds, by the way, in the background. They're like a little like dishes clanking about. It's like very annoying. But he whistles, shaking his head. A whole truck of mare? Greedy, greedy. His smile slips the longer he waits for your answer. Well, you don't remember how it went and you have no idea what the F he's going on about. But the shop owner Dia said something about an accident. If she meant the meeting, it hardly sounds like a success to you. Dia called it an accident. You say in the vain and hope that it will mean something more to him than it does to you. And you're not disappointed. Oh, his face got darker, like his eyes got darker, somehow. He freezes as soon as you say it, looking shocked and terrified. Oh, Kazol? Is that Kazol? What is that? Donegal was your client? He blanches, swallowing so thickly you can see his Adam's apple moving up and down. Again, the thick swallows. Just like in Andromeda 6. But okay, why? His mouth opens and closes wordlessly as he gapes for breath like a fish out of water, tripping over his tongue. Ziki, are you out of your mind? What are you doing here? He doesn't raise his voice, hissing the words through his gritted teeth. Still, you glance around, surveying the patrons, but none seem interested in your conversation. If they get you, they're gonna lock you up, and if they find out you have a phony license, you're screwed to hell and back. And that's only if they don't pin the murder on you as well. Murder? Does that mean... Did I kill... I don't know. He seems genuinely frightened, gripping the edge of the table so hard his knuckles pale. I don't know, they didn't tell me anything. Like, so far the story is very confusing, the storyline, but we are still in that stage of, like, having amnesia and having, like, no memory of what happened at all, which is basically the same thing. But he says, I don't know, they didn't tell me anything. Just that somebody offered off to Donegal in a warehouse. Boss said... Wait a moment, why are you asking me if you killed him? He blinks at you for a second before it hits him. With a long drawn-out exhale, he slams down on his chair. Oh, Madonna, you don't remember, do you? How did he... Anything? Anything at all? I do. Yeah? What was my name then? Is he serious? Yes, he is. Reid? My real name. He clicks his tongue like... Something like that. Or like... Maybe like that. See the lights around but nobody's home. That's an exaggeration. I didn't forget everything. Okay, let's hear it. What do you remember? Okay, now we're not sure if he's bringing it up or what's a good idea. You look down, stalling. A bathroom? A bathroom. He repeats, deadpan, eyes like saucers. Like saucers? What is that expression? I've never heard of it. But he's like, any details? A mirror? And a voice. A voice? Whose? How should I know? He raises his hand in a bit of a surrender. Right, sorry. Anything else? Reluctant as you are, you have to admit that he wasn't wrong about the extent of your current memory. Though thankfully you don't have to say a thing, he reads the truth out of your face before you have a chance to try and mask it. Hey, don't sweat it, it's normal. I assume the delivery got caught in the crossfire, the bottle's broken, you got a nice good whiff of mare. It'll pass in a day or so, depends on how much of the stuff you inhaled. That's a lot of new information to swallow all at once. You can already feel a headache coming. Mare? What does that mean? You try out the new word, rolling it around your tongue. Mare. I wouldn't think I've ever heard you say that. He flashes you a pleased grin, eyes at half-mast and delighted. You call it by the full name, Perfumare. It's mostly useless for fives, but it's a real threat for the lesser tiers, thirds and fourths especially. Tiers? Ah. He waves a hand dismissively. Don't worry about it, you'll remember everything soon. I'm gonna press him though. What if I don't? You will. I told you it happens. Okay, but I want to know anyway. He drums his fingers on the table, pursing his lips in thought. Alright. The drumming stops, he claps his hands together, clearing his throat. A crash course, here we go. Finally, some answers. Like, there we go. I told you guys we're gonna get some answers here. So some of us are born with a gift. A what? A special power, if you will. That explains a few things. Like me speaking directly into your head earlier. Good to know you weren't just going crazy. Mind reading of sorts. And strength, super strength. You mean Dia? Yeah. Amazing. So also Dia does have super strength. If you guys remember, she was like hauling like a huge little not a little but like a huge box of perfumes. So she did have like super strength there. And is that normal, we say? And he's like, yes. It's been around forever if that's what you wanted to know. There are studies about it, boring stuff, neurology, medical jargon. It's useful, that's all that matters to me. You'd like to ask more, but if he's right and your memory returns by tomorrow, it might be redundant. You watch him as he gulps down his coffee, wiping his mouth with a napkin when he's done. Well, he asks when you return his gaze seemingly out of nowhere. Well, what? You're not asking about yours. Oh, we have a gift? Mine? I'm sure that it'll be the first thing I would ask. But wouldn't you know if you had some strange powers? Wouldn't you have experienced it by now? Or maybe it's something insignificant. It's not like you try to lift a car or anything. Well, he tries to keep you in suspense for a while, but his restraint doesn't last long. It's called a lure. He straightens, pushing a stray lock of hair behind his ear. I'm not an expert, but from what you told me, it's a lot like mind control, only not quite. Okay. It's something about neurons, brain chemistry, sensitivity to external stimuli, or internal, one of those. The gist of it is you can potentially influence another person's brain to do whatever you want. There's a downside. The less susceptible a person, the harder it is to convince them. Seems useful. Oh, it is. That is why you're good at your job. The Perfumare? Yup. Makes sense. Earlier you said something about the tiers? Yeah. See, 1 and 2, their gifts are so insignificant they aren't even sent to the academy. So someone with a gift like yours, tier 1 or 2, could at best maybe tell what I'm feeling right now. Smell it, I mean, or see. Some see the emotions, some hear them. Taste and smell are connected, so you explained it to me once, something about biology. Tiers 3 to 5 are different. All of us need to finish a special training course before we can be out and about. Well, 3s and 4s can. What about 5s, we ask. There's an uneasy bit of silence before he breaks it with a dry chuckle. If you are 5 and you finish your training, you either have to join a specialized department or live the rest of your life on a leash. Oh, that's bad. But his tone turns surprisingly cold, tied with barely contained anger, accentuated by a tang of vinegar. A vinegar? What? They check up on you constantly. Oh, maybe that's our allure. We can like sense the emotions with like a taste and smell. So they check up on you constantly. There are some jobs you cannot do. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or not. If you're dangerous to them, you are a threat, and that's all they care about. They take you away from your family, and he stops himself with a hiss. That's how it is. He doesn't seem to want to elaborate, and you don't find it necessary to pry. What tier are you, we ask. His shoulders fall with visible relief at the topic change. A corner of his mouth turns up with a proud smile. I'm a solid 4. And me? He freezes like a deer in the headlights, like he honestly didn't expect your question. Look, it's complicated. Complicated. Great. You mentioned something about phony papers. Was that... Shh. In the blink of an eye, he pushes himself forward, clasps your hand over your mouth. It's gone just as quickly when he ensured you got his message. You're much too perceptive for your own good, Reid says. He drops to his chair, resting his forehead on the table. I'm not saying anything, you get me? Take from that what you will. So maybe we're a 5. I don't know. So right. So not only a tier 5, but you're operating on falsified papers. Will the joy never cease? Are we done playing 20 questions? He mumbles into the wood. For now. Good. He shifts his head, pushing his cheeks into the table. Care to tell me why you're here? He opens one eye, peering up at you. Here as in not hiding, somewhere safe? His eyes narrow as he awaits your reply. I was. At your old place? When he notices your unsure expression, he continues. Empty room, save for a bed, grimy? You nod. I woke up there with a red-haired woman. Jewel? What was she doing there? No, no, don't tell me. I don't want to know. He doesn't seem to like her as much now, does he? Okay. He sets his hand on the table, a tad too strongly if the quick grimace of pain is any indication. So you woke up at your place, then you left for a stroll, or a stroll? As if. I didn't have much of a choice. What do you mean? What happened? A man with a matching set of keys? He saw me, but I managed to escape in time. One of the SPD bastards it has to be. He pushes his lips deep in thought. His fingers tap at the table in an erratic rhythm, revealing his agitation. Security and peace, my A. Trying to condemn someone without even a shred of evidence. Oh, I hate those effers. And what could they want from me? All I know is that the SPD puppets are on the lookout for Donegal's murderer. I wasn't there, obviously, but I don't believe you did it. You wouldn't, not without a good reason. You have that much faith in me? His shoulders rise and fall in an unconcerned shrug. Shouldn't I? I know you well enough. He says that with a peculiar certainty that almost compels you to believe him. Almost. I'm gonna say that's so. He hums. I'm gonna try to flirt with Reid. I don't know, we haven't had any flirty options so far with him or at all. But it says in the description, the summary of the game, it says that we should flirt with him first if you want to flirt with anybody at all. That's kind of like the route that we need to take. First is Reid and as the other characters. So I'm gonna play as a Reid flirty, wordy type of thing. So Reid says, I do whether you like it or not. It sounds like a friendly remark, but you can't shake off the feeling as though it isn't only that, it's a warning as well. His comment is accented by an overwhelming smell of licorice, a mix of sweet, bitter, salty, and sour. Oh, by the way, I don't like licorice at all. I tried licorice from IKEA, the black licorice that is of the sweet variety, because they also have salty variety. But I did not like that at all. I don't know how people eat that stuff, but you have no idea what kind of face you're making, but Reid grins at the sight of it. You are... He pauses, the look on his face twists between amusement and something else, something you cannot name. His eyes lock with yours just as the door snaps open with a long, deep rasp that brings you back to reality with a start. One of the patrons leaves, pushing the door with their leg, closing it with a thud. When you look back, the moment is gone. Okay, back to our little problem. He jumps up to his feet with a movement far more graceful than it has any right to be. Give me half an hour tops. I'll try to contact my friends, get as much info as I can. He tucks his hands inside his pockets of his jacket, ready to leave. We're closing in a tick technically, but feel free to stay if you want. Also, he works here, so staying here isn't the worst idea, but there's a pang of unease tugging at your brain, insistent. Whether you can trust this guy or not, whether he's telling the truth, you're not in a position to put your life in someone's hands. You rise to your feet. He gets the message. If you're sure. Okay, then meet me at the perfume shop in an hour, we'll sort it out. One hand on the red curtain, he ducks inside the back room, but not without flashing you a confident grin. Ciao, Bella. He calls over his shoulder, stepping into the darkness. That guy, honestly. Alright, so we're back outside, and the weather outside has improved, the pavements are almost empty, and the sun is starting to rise. It might be harder to hide in plain sight now, so your best bet is to find a safe-ish place to hole up for a while. Maybe check out your notebook and think about all the things you have just learned. Again, luck doesn't seem to be on your side today. I'm gonna actually check my notebook again because we have people and Reid. And do we have something else? No, we have nothing else on him. So let's return. And luck doesn't seem to be on your side today. And we are passing through two short streets, marching onto a pedestrian crossing. The red lights flicker mockingly, the cars drive past and minutes tick by. Your eyes wander, searching for another route when they rest on a tall, nicely dressed man. He's clutching a cell phone in his hand, studying the screen with rapt attention. Abruptly he lifts his head, fastening the entirety of his cold, deep gaze on you. Oh, that is that guy, Laurent was his name, I think, so let me just check, people, yes, Laurent, look at him, that's Laurent, he kinda looks like Edward from Twilight, but his face stays passive, the frown pulls his eyebrows together in a look that appears to be disbelief. His lips move soundlessly, wrapping around a name. Your name. Also, he said, Ziki. You blink as he vanishes, swallowed by a wave of passers-by. And that's when you notice them. Oh, who are they? Two people both wearing expensive sunglasses. They're surveying you in the least subtle way they possibly could. The man waves at you when you catch his eyes across the crowd. What the? He looks, well, not familiar in the sense that you might know him, but he reminds you of someone. The woman, on the other hand, is definitely someone you're seeing for the first time. She makes it no secret that they intend to approach you and strike up a conversation once they reach you. Whatever they want, you are not interested, and I'm wondering what the hell they want. But I guess you're gonna have to find out in like the next episode, because I don't want to make this like too long, and it's already been like maybe 25 minutes or something like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really interesting episode. We got to understand a little bit more about ourselves, like as the character, as the main character. We do have a gift, an affliction called Allure. And we met Reid. We already know that we're going to be flirting with him, so stay tuned. Please subscribe if you want to get notified for my future videos. I'm going to try to do them a little bit more often, like more than once a week, definitely. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and yep, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.